Hi everyone, join me today as I make this gorgeous brush rest out of air dry clay. Today I'm going to use Das air dry clay. I feel that this clay is the best quality. I'm going to open up the packet and cut off a size piece of clay that I think I'm going to need, and then I'm going to make sure to wrap up and make sure no air gets into the remaining clay. Then I'm going to knead it between my fingers just to soften it up and get rid of any air bubbles. I have these wooden guides and a roller that helps me to roll the clay to an even thickness. These are 7mm guides, so I'm going to roll the clay out to 7mm thick. And then I'm going to press my dog cookie cutter into the clay. I find that wetting the cutter first makes it go through the clay more easily, and the clay is less inclined to stick to it. I'm not going to push it all the way through, otherwise it might slice through where the band is around the neck, but just enough that I can get the marking down on the clay. Then I'll use my tool just to cut off the excess clay. I'll just get my remaining clay and spray it with some water and wrap it in some plastic to stop it drying out whilst I work. And then I'll use my knife to cut accurately around the edge of the shape. Let me add these little extra pieces that I've cut off to the piece that I've already set aside to use later on. Now I just want to smooth around the edges a little bit. Where I use the knife there might be some rough and jagged edges, so I'll pick up the dog in my fingers and get some water on my finger and rub it around the edge just to try and smooth whatever I can on this first pass. Then to get it even smoother, I'm going to pick up my sharper tool and just use that around the edges as well. I just find that smooths off the sides better than just using my finger on its own. Now I'm going to take that extra clay that I had set aside, and I want to make the dog longer. So I'm just going to roll it out into a sausage and then use my guide sticks and roll that clay out again. I'm using the same 7mm thickness. I don't need all of that clay, so I will use my cutter and cut off part of it. And I'll set what I'm not using aside. Then I'll cut straight down what will be one long side. And then I'm going to use my ruler to make the width the same as the dog's width already. So I'll just do a marker as a guide, and then I'll use my cutter to cut the length, keeping it parallel to the line I've already cut. I want to extend it by about 4 centimeters, so I'll just mark that and cut it through. 4 or 5 centimeters is fine. So let me cut through, and I'll put the rest of the clay aside. Now I'm going to cut through the dog at an angle, and then I need to match the slice that I've done on the piece that I've added. So I'm going to match the slice, so it's a bit like a parallelogram, the piece that I'm adding, so that it's going to slot in nice and neatly under the wedges I've already cut. Now I'm going to do what is called slip and score. So I'm going to take my sharp tool and just put some score lines on all 4 of the edges that I'm going to join together. This just means that they will connect together nice and snugly, because the surfaces that I'm joining together are not entirely smooth. Then I'm going to pick up what is called slip. This is made from leftover bits of clay that I've used in previous projects that I drop into this container and then just add a bit of water so that it's got a bit of a cementish feel to it. And I'm going to put this slip on all 4 surfaces. And that's just going to help all the pieces to join together nicely. So I'm getting my parallelogram and I'm going to kind of wiggle it over the areas so that the scoring that I've done, that the teeth of that can meet each other. And when I've done this side, I'm going to then flip it over and just try and use my finger to smooth together the edges on both sides. So I'll flip it over and smooth it on the back side. I'm not sure why the camera stopped recording, but after I had smoothed off all the sides, I allowed it to dry. So now it has been drying for 2 days. It's completely dry, and I'm going to do some sanding. I'm just using a nail file that has got a slightly rougher and a smoother side. I'll start with the rougher side first. That just helps to get rid of the major flaws that are there. And once I've got rid of the majority of the ridges that I can see, I will then use the smoother side to finish off and make it even smoother. So I'm just looking for ridges, edges and defects that I can just use my nail file to smooth off. Once I'm happy with the filing and I feel that everything is about as smooth as I'm going to get it, I'm going to do a base coat of white acrylic. You can use any white acrylic paint. I'm just going to squeeze some of that onto some card, just because I don't like washing up palettes with acrylic on them when I'm done. And I'm going to put a layer of white acrylic on both the front and the back of the dog. I'll have to do the front first, give it 12 or 24 hours to dry, and then flip it over and do the back. So I'll start by doing the front and sides, give it a day or so to dry, flip it over and then do a layer on the back and give that a day to dry. Now that that white acrylic is completely dry, I can start with painting on top. I'm going to use some tubes of gouache just because I've got them, but you could also just as easily use acrylic. I think it's much of a muchness, especially if you've got a base coat of white acrylic down already. You can go on top with either gouache or acrylic. I'm going to start with a burnt sienna color, and I'd like to darken that up a bit, so I'll add a little bit of ultramarine. That's a bit darker, and maybe it's a bit dark. I'll add a little bit more burnt sienna to that. And now I'm happy with the brown color. And I'm going to put this on all of the exposed parts of the dog on the front. She's going to be wearing a pink and white striped jersey, so just deciding where that's going to end, I'll paint the brown color on all of the rest of the exposed parts of the dog. So I'll do all the bits in brown, and then I'm going to allow it to dry completely before I start on the stripes. I want to mix up some pink now, so I'm going to take some red acrylic and I'm going to mix it with the white acrylic. So I'll start with the white first because I think it's very easy to push the color too far if I start with red. Then I'm going to take a bit of red that I've already got in my palette here and add it to the white. I think we could have a little bit more red just to make it a little bit pinker. I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to start by painting alternate pink stripes on the dog. So I think I'll make the sections that are more on the surface pink, and then the dips in where the brushes will go, I'll add the red. The pink looks a little bit light. I'm just going to add a bit more red to it, just so that there's a bit more contrast with the white. I'm happy with that. So now I'll start with the alternating pink stripes. I'm using quite a small brush, and I'm going to make my brush go along the edge to get a nice sharp crisp edge to it, and then I'll just have to turn it around to get or to be able to do the second half of each of the stripes, just so that I can use the brush to my advantage to try and get a sharp edge. And then I'll move to an even smaller brush just to do the shorter sides, just to try and keep accurate. And I'll do the same thing. I'll work all in one direction and then flip it over and do the other side of each stripe. Then I will use a little bit of black to do the eye and the nose. And to make sure that my paint doesn't lift or bubble, I'm going to let this dry for at least 24 hours before I come to seal it. Now, working outside in a very well ventilated area, I'm going to do a quick spray of clear acrylic gloss spray over the whole surface of the dog. And again, I'll leave it 24 hours before I varnish. The surface is completely dry now, and I'm going to use this gloss varnish clay glaze to paint the whole surface of the dog. We need to do this side by side and layer by layer, so I won't show you the whole process, but just to say that I aim to do 2 coats on both sides. So here I'm showing you how I do the top and the sides, the first coat, then I'm going to let it dry completely, do the same to the back, and then once the back is dry, I will repeat the front and back process again. It's very important to be conservative and not make your varnish layer too thick. If you do that, then it inevitably starts to pull or clump in places and you get drippage down the side. So rather just err on the side of caution and aim to get 2 very thin layers rather than trying to overdo it and do 1 very thick layer. So there we go. Now my varnish is completely dry on both sides and my brush rest is ready to use. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you found the video useful and informative. If you did, please click the like button. Until next time, bye for now.